Some men of the common herd, all the rubbish of the city, once rose up against the Emperor Justinian in Byzantium, and by way of shewing that it was not against the emperor alone that they had taken up arms, but no less against God himself, unholy wretches that they were, they had the hardihood to fire the church of the Christians, which the people of Byzantium called Sophia, an epithet which they have most appropriately invented for God, by which they call his temple. And God permitted them to accomplish this impiety, foreseeing into what an object of beauty this shrine was destined to be transformed. The emperor, disregarding all questions of expense, eagerly pressed on to begin the work of construction, and began to gather all the artisans from the whole world. So the church has become a spectacle of marvelous beauty, overwhelming to those who see it, but to those who know it by hearsay, altogether incredible. Both its breadth and its length have been so carefully proportioned that it may not improperly be said to be exceedingly long and at the same time unusually broad, and it exalts in an indescribable beauty. For it proudly reveals its mass and the harmony of its proportions, having neither excess nor deficiency, since it's both more pretentious than the buildings to which we are accustomed, and considerably more noble than those which are merely huge, and it abounds exceedingly in sunlight, and in the reflections of the sun's rays from the marble. Indeed, one might say that the interior is not illuminated from without by the sun, but that the radiance comes into being within it. Such an abundance of light bathes the shrine. It was by many skillful devices that the Emperor Justinian and the master builder Anthemius and Isidorus secured the stability of the church, hanging, as it does, in midair. Some of these it is both hopeless for me to understand in their entirety and impossible to explain in words. For it soars to a height to match the sky, and as if surging up from amongst the other buildings, it stands on high and looks down upon the remainder of the city, adorning it, because it is a part of it, but glorying in its own beauty because, though a part of the city and dominating it, it at the same time towers above it at such a height that the whole city is viewed from there as if from a watchtower. So the vision constantly shifts suddenly, for the beholder is utterly unable to select which particular detail he should admire more than all the others. But even so, though they turn their attention to every side and look with contracted brows upon every detail, observers are still unable to understand the skillful craftsmanship, but they always depart from there overwhelmed by the bewildering sight. So much then for this. And whenever anyone enters this church to pray, he understands at once that this is not by any human power or skill, but by the influence of God that this work has been so finely turned. And so his mind is lifted up towards God and exalted, feeling that he cannot be far away, but must especially love to dwell in this place which he has chosen. And this does not happen only to one who sees the church for the first time, but the same experience comes to him on each successive occasion, as though the sight were new each time. And the emperor, in this way, enjoys a kind of testimonial from his work.
Yeah.